Quiet on set. Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Nuke at Night, a.k.a. the Black Howard Stern. Bad motherfucker, Mr. 17,000 block, deep sea drill diver, fourth quarter champ is bringing it to you, baby. And today, we got a special segment about race. Black versus white, white versus black. What the fuck do we really got going on in today's society? I really don't know. So first, before I get into my guest today, I want to talk about, of course, what we talk about. The World Star Wackies. Yo, Tone, what do we got going on? This is my problem. Cut. If I ever don't know, this is the bell. No, I don't see cut. Don't. When I say cut, I'm telling him to cut, not the cameraman. This is the beautiful part about the Black Howard Stern. My crew is crazy than the motherfucker. They just be zoning. So whenever you hear this, you know some shit is fucked up. Some shit is just whatever that could be. That's what that means. Tone, World Star Wackies is World Star, not IG Thoughts. Da, da, da. Tone is never focused, but that's my best friend. What do we got, Tone? Instagram Thotties. I love this segment. What you got? That's weird. You know what? I shout out to you ladies that sometimes get caught like that. I feel you. It's fucked up. It's the same way when you get caught up with your track showing in your weave. It's the same way that you get caught up with a string hanging out your pussy. It's bad. It's bold. You should not be at the strip club or twerking when you're on your period. God wanted you at some time to reset, bitch. Okay? So that was the motherfucking time for you to reset, and I think that was God smacking the shit out you saying, hey, you were supposed to reset. Because did you know, shout out to my friend Rome. Rome said that if you sleep in a bed, this is in the Bible, if you sleep in a bed with a woman on a period, you damn near going to hell. Did you know that? Yeah, that's real. Same way with you don't supposed to have sex. My friend used to tell me you don't have sex with pregnant pussy, but I think pregnant pussy is some of the best pussy. And he told me one day, Nuke, if you have sex with pregnant pussy, you're a dirtball, you're a thief, you're a fucking devil. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. Pregnant pussy is some of the best. Like, so what the fuck are you talking about? Anyway, keep the string out your pussy, baby. What's your name again? Bad Luck 354. Again, to you and the other ladies, when you're twerking, when you're at a strip club, making your money, popping that ass, do not be on your period. Take those days to reset, rekindle, give God his grace, and chill the fuck out, all right? We got some great guests coming up. Today I wanted to talk about race. I got a new movie that I'm doing called Race, and it's a powerful film. It's a real powerful film, so I wanted to go into taking my movies to the next level, Tone, because I think that I made a lot of movies about streets. I made a lot of movies about drugs, this, that, and the other. And some God hit me, and he said, Al, make a powerful movie. Challenge yourself. So I'm making a powerful movie called Race. So for these next 6 months, I'm going deep into just the whole research of race and what's going on. So this is part of my segment today. It's called Race with two beautiful people. We have different issues with each other, and we just want to talk, and hopefully we can save the world and save somebody in this conversation. So get your popcorn, get your chips. Bitch, call a uncle. We'll be right back. Nuke at Night, the Black Howard Stern. Be there. We back, Nuke at Night, a.k.a. the Black Howard Stern, and I got some great guests today. I got my sweetheart, Jessica Robertson, and I have my buddy, Jay Edwards, good friend of mine. You know, before I bring these two individuals on, I thought about myself and said, Al, what do you want to do that's powerful, that's going to be thought-provoking, and at the same time, be real, authentic? And I've scrambled around. Shout out to everybody that couldn't find me. No white people that was willing to come on this conversation and have this conversation. I called many people, and I had to go and become me and dig deep and become a producer, because I am a film producer, and find me two white people that was going to come and talk about the real issues of what's going on. Now, before we have this meeting, I want this interview, I want y'all to be mindful that you might hear some shit that you don't want to hear. You might hear some shit that you get emotional. But guess what? Who gives a fuck? Because at the end of the day, they're not wrong and we're not wrong. We're having 2-3 individuals having open dialogue. So if it's too much for your little funky ass, whether you a hunky, whether you a nigga, to have problems with, I suggest you get the fuck off right now. You dig? So with that being said, let's bring my people on. Miss Jessica and Jay. Give them a round of applause, guys. Yay. Now that we have everybody on, I want to start off by saying, please introduce yourself one more time for me, my brother Jay.
I'm Jay Edwards. I am from Washington, D.C., originally born and raised. I've been in Atlanta now for the last 10 years.
And introduce yourself, young lady. Speak up for me.
I'm Jessica Robertson, and I am originally from Ohio. I've been in Atlanta for the past 5 years.
Sounds good. So do we got ourselves together there, Tom? Okay. So I really want to thank you guys for coming on my show and just really having the courage, because a lot of people don't like having these hard conversations. We're going to have a hard and a truthful conversation today. I want to take these off because I want to be able to hear. I don't know what we're getting ready to talk about. I don't have a pre-niption or whatever the fuck in my head. I just want to be able to talk to two white people that can be honest with me, and I can be honest with you, and we can just figure out how we can iron some shit out, okay? So with that being said, what the hell is you think that's going on right now in today, and what led us into such a dysfunctional situation? Is it Trump? Was it Obama? What was it? Let's start with you, Jeff.
I think our country's become weak over the last 30 or 40 years. I think that our parents were much more adept at living their lives with the difficulties that were presented them and overcoming them, coming from their parents, the World War II generation, the baby boomers. And I think that we, and I'll start out, I'm 50, and I think that from my generation on, people started acting less and less like they were disciplinarians and more like they were people's friends. And it doesn't, across racial borders, people now have no sense of responsibility or discipline.
Now, now for the regular person, I don't know if they caught that. And I like how you said that and you cleaned it up. But basically you saying motherfuckers is not acting accordingly to what they supposed to be. And if they was acting like they would back in the days, we would have a much better situation.
If you want me to say it like that, they ain't got no fucking homeschooling.
And I'm with you on that. And here's my thing. You could be right, because a lot of times I see what we do as black people, right? And we do a lot of silly shit. You know what I mean? People watch World Star. We do a lot of crazy ass shit. But now here's my thing. Do you feel responsible, or do your people feel responsible in some way, shape, or form of our behavior to this extent?
Absolutely. I do. I mean, me personally, absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because at a certain point, people started taking in every weight of the world on themselves. And the minute that black people in general started talking about reparations, and we've been wronged, and we have this history of things that you guys are responsible for, people can't stand up and say, look, man, that was 100 years ago. Right. Swim or drown. But for real, man, don't fuck around and blame me over some shit that my great-great-grandfather did and that you think you need to be repaid for 150 years later.
But I think you would probably want to be repaid too for that shit too. If it was 100 years earlier before, you probably would want to be repaid.
Ask
too.
a Jew.
And that's a great question. That's a great question.
And ask a Jew. See if they'd want to be repaid for what they went through with the Egyptians.
It was a way that the Jews got all of their money.
Well, I can't remember
how it was, but they swiveled their motherfucking way to get all the way up.
So is that a lesson, or is that some shit that y'all just ignore and say, we ain't gonna do that?
You got a point. But you know what? Y'all had it out for us harder than the Jews. You gave Jews a pass. Niggas, you pretty much put a situation on like, yo, we gonna give y'all the dope. We gonna give you the crack. We gonna give you the time for the motherfucking dope, for the crack. You gave us a lot of shit to play with that the Jews didn't have to play with too. I mean, just a little bit. I mean, you got to say.
Now, when's the last time you talked to somebody that was white that said they were the ones that introduced crack into the inner city?
They not gonna say it because you ain't had nothing to do with it. It was your people. It was almost you guilty by association, and that's fucked up.
I feel you.
That's
but,
fucked up. You guilty by association.
The same goes for y'all. I mean, how you gonna say that? It's white folks that are killing black folks. It's the black folks that are killing black folks. Walk your ass over to Bankhead and walk around and talk about how you so.
I agree. I agree, but a lot of that comes from, again, we got to take responsibility. I agree. As black people, we have to take responsibility for us because we be fucking our own selves up. I agree. But you got to think about the way the system is set up. It's almost set up for us to fuck up. And my thing is, white people won't step up to the plate and say, hey, Like, what do you have to say about all of the white people that's killing niggas out of the blue, that's shooting motherfuckers? I mean, there's no sense of responsibility for.
Well, what about the black people who are killing black people?
I agree.
It's the same thing. It's again, take responsibility for who you are.
I agree.
And stop making it, oh, it's all black people, it's all white people, it's individual.
But see, y'all watch from a fucking from a band, and just look at the binoculars. You're not trying to help. You're not trying to go down there and trying to help. You watch it from the binoculars in the beautiful ass homes, this beautiful ass life. The jobs are set up for you. Everything is pretty much laid out for you from what they call the white privilege. So you don't have a responsibility of saying, well, let me help you. You watch it.
All right, so watch this. You ever been to a trailer park?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They fucked up.
How about that? So, I mean,
you're probably, that ain't a lot of trailer parks. That's some bullshit.
In Georgia? Dude, there's
I'm saying
one
in general
5 feet
around
from
the world. I'm talking around the world. It ain't a lot of. It ain't. I'm saying it's a lot.
Really
it's only a few little tight little.
All right. So anyway, I mean, the thing is that again, and speaking our mind here, and being honest, you betcha. Here we are, man. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter who you are, what your skin color is. Let me trace back a second for the white folks that are killing the black folks, because I knew this shit was going to come up. We was going to talk about Missouri and all the rest of this, Black Lives Matter and all the rest of this shit. All right. I'm a veteran, a soldier. Okay. When they told me to go do something, I did it. Now the thing is that when I went in there with eyes open, knowing that at some point things may come to a head, that I may have to do something that I was going to do. As a young man in Washington, D.C., in a gang, I also knew with my eyes wide open that there were things I may be called to do that I'm either going to do or not. Now listen, here's the problem. I think that, again, personal opinion, and I know you're going to hear all kinds of shit about this, but personal opinion, man. Young men, black men, white men, Hispanics, all of them, when they go into the gang life, when they go into the drug selling life, when they go into the pimp life, they know, eyes wide open, that all this is wrong.
I agree.
Because, you know what the consequences are going to be. I agree. Take that responsibility upon yourself to be that person that you think you want to be.
I agree.
Now, having said that, the minute that some shit goes wrong, your mama, who never did that, your daddy, who never did that, your grandparents are all crying on the ABC News talking about he was such a good boy. No, he wasn't. He was a fucking drug dealer.
Right, he's a drug dealer.
All right, the point is that, I mean, you could be a great guy. I'm a great guy. Well, I'm an asshole too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've done some shit in my life.
Right.
I don't see any reason why. The problem is that I think that it's a perception thing, man. I mean, I get it. Inner city is going to be inner city. Detroit, your shirt, holy shit, dude. Wouldn't go there. Wouldn't go there if you paid me right now.
Right.
But it's everywhere, man. It's Washington, D.C., it's Atlanta, it's Detroit.
But it's all black. And as I evaluate that, I feel like you're pigeon-toeing one thing, because okay, like you said, the young guy, he knew what he was getting himself into, right? But now, do you take in consideration, since he was conceived, all he seen was food stamps, poverty, high bushes, fucked up shit, as he opened his eyes every single
But not
day.
not all black people see that.
The majority of them do. 80% of them do.
I don't even believe in the majority of that. Yeah.
No, it's definitely. I mean, we're growing because you got more successful black people. But come on, man, the majority of the ghettos and all of this shit is fucked up. Y'all not taking in consideration of where it started. Where's the root of it? Now, I take consideration of today and why we acting stupid in the motherfucker right now. We acting like motherfuckers is going dumb. But you're not taking responsibility of where it come from and how you can help.
Yeah, but when are you going to change that? You can't just sit here and live in the past and be like, oh, this happened 100 years ago. When are you going to take responsibility within yourself and in your family to make changes and to break the cycle?
Now, here's my answer.
When is that enough?
Here's my answer. Look at it in a perspective like this. You got $1,000, right? We in this motherfucking house, or we in this neighborhood, you got $1,000, right? You got 1,000. I'm working with motherfucking $10. Now, can you come up with a plan to at least get me $200 motherfucking dollars, where I can at least start with a face or with a good move?
Well, nowadays, all you have to do is get on Instagram and take some pictures, and
now you want me to sell myself. Now you want me to be a jigaboo. Now you want me to be the entertainment. Now, I'm talking about a legitimate way where I can get some money, because guess what?
Go cut the grass in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
See, you give me some petty ass shit.
Hey, I started out that way. What is wrong with that?
That's some bullshit. You flying airplanes. You doing all type of shit. But you want me to take the trash out.
So there's a difference. That's not a race thing. Ambition is not a race thing. That's something that's ingrained in you, or it's not.
I'll tell you what, ask Frederick Douglass about that. Ask Frederick Douglass how he brought himself up. put himself through school, and became the man that he is. It's absolutely. I mean, we're not. It's not a racial thing, man. She's almost 100% correct. It's ambition because you know what? You yourself. Where'd you come from and where are you now?
I came from the fuck up, but it was a hard fight.
Hey, but so what?
Ain't never had to fight. You ain't never had to fight these fights
you know what,
I had.
I grew up in Southeast DC. I was the only white kid in my neighborhood, homeboy.
Man, that's your story. But what about the rest of your story?
But we all have stories, and that's the thing.
You gonna pick you out of one motherfucker. All white people had it good.
All white people had it good.
90% of white people had it good, or y'all knew somebody that had some money. Ain't nobody had no money in the black community. I don't know no cousin, niece, nephew. Y'all had people with money all since you grew up. You probably didn't want to deal with him, but you knew he had some money. Tell the truth. Be honest.
My family.
I had people in my family that had money, but again, they aren't sitting here just handing you stuff. You had to work for it. It's not just like, you can get a job here because my dad is the vice president of a company. No, that wasn't how it was.
But you know the majority is, a lot of people is like that.
Again, you're generalizing things.
I don't know.
Inside skyscrapers, doing all of the big shit you don't believe is handed down to your family members.
No,
which is
absolutely.
White,
and when you have kids, so will your empire. That's
in.
not what I'm saying. The problem is that I think that at some point, something went left, man. I'm not saying anything about it being racial because, you know, my first job was washing dishes at 14. You know, there was no money in my family. My mom's an only child. My dad had 8 brothers and sisters.
But see, you consider, what's the name? You consider what, trailer trash? You consider trailer trash.
I hope not, but yeah, maybe.
Well, no, I'm just saying because, I mean, the way we'll look at it, yeah, because you didn't grow out of no money. You didn't grow. White people, it's only a difference. Either you had some money or either you was trailer trash. There's no in between. I mean, how we look at it. But for black people, we was all fucked up. You know what I mean? All of the black people was fucked up. It's almost like y'all owned everything and then said, well, cool, y'all can get the fuck on, but we own everything. Y'all own shit, and soon as you fuck up, you go into jail for 25 years, and we gonna make y'all build some shit in there, which is another form of slavery. How do we win? It's a bigger picture.
You say. Here again, it's a responsibility issue, man. I don't care. No matter how you come from it, because what you're saying right now is an excuse. It's absolutely an excuse because, you know, when you start out from that negative point of view, you've got nowhere to go. No, because that's a negative
It's perception.
You leave me with nothing. You leave me broke. I'm fucked up. You got all the money, and then you tell me you're negative. Fuck that shit. Let's switch it and see how negative. See if your ass be negative. If I'm sitting on $100 million and your ass sitting on $1. Let's see what's going on. Like, switch the shoes. Where's your sympathy? Where's
no, time out.
Sympathy?
I've got sympathy for all of this.
Sympathy, it should be about empathy.
My problem is,
what the fuck?
My problem is, like I said, man, is that at some point, man, if you come from that negative point of view, man, because you know what? Not everybody did. Tyler Perry didn't. Chris Rock did. Chris Rock come from Andrews, South Carolina. You ever been there? Holy shit, man. I mean, that place looked like a hurricane hit it every day of the year.
You're picking one out of every million niggas. The masses of niggas is dying and poor.
Okay, but what about just the regular people? Like, I have friends that their parents are, presidents of banks and they're black. So, take the regular people that just went to college. They slid out of that, but what's the difference between how did they do it, or it was their choice to do it? They could have gone and sold drugs, or they could have gone and gotten a college education, or they could go get a regular job. It's all about taking accountability for yourself and teaching your kids the right thing to do. And I think that, like he said from the very beginning, it comes down to parents don't want to be parents anymore, or they want to sit here and always stick up for the kid. You can take the situation that happened right here in Atlanta with the kid who was selling CDs. If you want to, he was selling CDs, and the police officer dragged him out of what mall was it?
Right. Now, what was your take on that?
My take was, why was he at the mall selling CDs when he had been repeatedly asked by the police officers in the mall to not sell CDs there anymore? So again, if you're a parent, so his aunt takes him back to the mall to sell CDs. Maybe she didn't know. Maybe he never told his parents that he had kept getting kicked out of the mall. Let's take that into account. I get that. I've been a kid before. So his aunt takes him into the mall. The police officer tells him again to sit here and not sell CDs. They ask him to leave. He gets smart. Then here comes the aunt trying to record it for everything. She's yelling. She's screaming. She's acting crazy. And it's like, what happened to okay, you're not supposed to be there. Where were the parents? Why would they even let him go back to the mall if they did know about it?
I gotta say something here. Now I've heard that, and you have some perspectives, but from what I'm getting from you, you're heartless. And why I say that?
It's not heartless.
Because you already know. Again, you got 1,000. I got a fucking $1. Okay, now you sitting here telling me to go find some shit to do to get some money, be respectful, this and that and the other. Now you own all the jobs. You got the goddamn jobs. Your family members got the jobs. Everybody got the goddamn jobs. Now I'm fucked up. All I can do is force to sell a goddamn CD, and here it is you telling me you can't sell a CD neither. Well, goddamn.
Well, anybody should know. I think that's great that he was selling CDs.
Just look how hard it is for me as a black person. It's hard. Can't get no jobs. You got all the money. I'm fucked up. I try to sell a CD. You telling me I can't sell a goddamn CD.
Not in the mall. You can't.
You just want it to be hard for me.
You're taking pieces of this.
Yeah.
That's not pieces. That's reality.
It is. But the thing is, okay, so tomorrow.
Give me a job.
Tomorrow, you walk into somewhere and they say you can't be in here. You try to walk into Tyler Perry Studios and they say you can't be here. But you sneak under the fence and they tell you get out. And you sneak under the fence the next day, they tell you get out. You sneak under the fence the next day, they tell you get out or they arrest your ass. Is that their problem? Is that their fault?
No.
Or is that your problem?
And what all I'm simply saying is, and you're right about that. But what I don't like what white people do is simply say you shouldn't have did this, but you don't have no solution.
No, but here's the solution.
What is the solutions for black people to come up? No, not catch the trash, not fucking sweep, no bullshit.
Take your CDs.
That. What's the solution of getting real money for all African Americans to get some real paper? Oh, hold on, stop, pause. I got my waitress right here. Hey, baby, how you doing? It was getting a little heated. I had my waitress come in and get some drinks going. You dig what I'm saying? This is cool. Oh, she say drink that shit slow because her feet hurt. She's a motherfucker. I tell you, I love her though. But so all of this shit you talking about, how you gonna get us some goddamn money, man? Some real money, not sweeping the floor, cutting the grass.
All right. Well, listen. First off, did you go to school?
I went a little bit.
Okay. Did you graduate?
No, but
did you
gonna point that at me?
Did you come up?
Point that at me. You gonna point that?
Did you come up?
It was hard, man.
Everything's hard, brother. You think? Look, I'm a combat veteran. You think sitting out there in the middle of the desert getting shot at is easy?
No, that shit.
How about that?
And shout out to the hunkies that really go out there because a lot more hunkies is in it. And don't feel bad when I say hunkies. I say niggas too. So
yeah, it is what it is.
Match. Shout out to the hunkies that's in the Army and they be serious out there. Y'all work hard. Y'all go crazy. A lot of niggas don't be wanting to go, but the majority is hunky. So I give y'all a lot of.
So there you go. Now, having said that, you know what? If you get your GED or you get your high school diploma, you can immediately enlist. You can enlist in the Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Navy. All of a sudden, instead of making that $1 and being out there selling your CDs in a place you ain't fucking supposed to be in the first place, all of a sudden now you're making legit money with a place to stay and a purpose and a responsible atmosphere around you that leads you to a point where you have some self-worth.
Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Why should I motherfucking fight for a country that's been suppressing me all this motherfucking time that I actually built?
Okay.
This what niggas
Well,
say.
there you go. And you know what? Tell them, look, man, the thing is that you're going to be fighting against people that feel the exact same way. Okay, because all over the world, this has been going on. This has been going on since biblical times with the Egyptians and the Jews. That's been going on even further down the line with the whites and the blacks from Africa, bringing them over, with the blacks throughout Europe long before America was an established country, doing these things. Now, having said that, there were also, throughout all these times, educated, responsible black folks as well as educated, responsible white folks. It's how you bring your people up. As a grown man in today's society, if you have children that you are able, even if they're not yours, that you're able to mentor and teach some responsibility, teach some things, show them how you came up, give them lessons. I know, I work in the security industry here in Atlanta, in the music industry. I know some fine young black men. I know one that's going to Clark University or Clark Atlanta, playing basketball, man, doing his thing. What a great kid. I know another kid that's out in Eastern Carolina playing football, Edmond.
Okay.
These guys are doing great things. They're getting their education. They're getting smart. They're being responsible, and they're taking their burden on themselves. It's not a societal burden. Their problems are their problems. They don't blame society. They don't blame culture. You know, they're
But it's
good.
still a suppression, man. Like all
You're right. There's
you're not
always
talking
been
about no
suppression.
solution. You talking about no solution. All you talking about
solution is educate
keep
yourself.
going, black man. Just keep going, black man.
The solution is
Fuck
educate
that.
yourself.
But at the same time, I educate myself. I get pulled over by a motherfucking hunky. They ready to shoot my motherfucking ass. I try to go for a job. If the hunky is going for the same job, he gonna win the goddamn job. Everything is built on me from the bottom of the back fucking door. So it's easy for you to say, get up and go and do it. But, bro, a lot of this shit is not that simple like that. I could go and walk out here right now and get into a fucking accident or some bullshit. And as soon as they pull up, if I'm in an accident with a white motherfucker, I'm instantly going to jail. Or they coming right at me. Everybody that 90%, or I should say 80%, well, I'll say 70% of the people that look like you don't like me. So whether that be wherever they work at, it's going to be a direct or indirect racism toward me or trying to play me out on some hoe ass shit. Now you can say, fight, keep fighting, man. Fuck that. It's fucked up. It ain't that easy, bro. You get frustrated because guess what? You got the white privilege. So when you go to the airport and if they're running it a little late or your baggage, you're going to be like, hey, man, what is the baggage? It's like, you're going to have a problem with the simplest shit that I go through every single motherfucking day that I got to sweep under the rug. The slightest little shit, you going to have a problem with.
All right, here we go.
What you got to say? What you got to say?
I mean, I just feel like it's all an individual thing. Like
That's some bullshit. How? When you control everything?
No, I can't. I don't believe in that.
You don't believe y'all control everything?
I don't think that's true at all.
So y'all don't control predominantly when you talk about corporate, when you talk about companies, when you talk about just corporate companies in general, that what makes the world go around is actually controlled by white people. Government is predominantly controlled by white people. Y'all don't
No,
agree?
I agree.
Right. So well, let me ask you this then. Here's my last honest answer, my last honest question before I want to hear your side. And be honest now, okay? Out of every 10 white people, how many you know is racist, that you would say is racist? Out of every 10. Be honest. And when I'm saying racist, I'm not talking about fucking nigga racist. I'm talking about where they just like, I don't fuck with niggas and it's whatever with niggas, who cares? That's racist too. Out of every 10. That's a hard question. Right. What? Come on.
I don't know.
Be honest.
I can't say that
Oh my
because
God.
again,
How many
no,
black
because
folks
my
you know
race
ain't
is
deal with a
black
white
and
man for nothing?
So my family,
I agree.
I know
I agree.
the most majority of people of my family. Like I have all white side, and I have people like on my white side that really didn't support my parents.
You trying to clean the shit up. You've been white all your life. I'm asking you, how many white people out of 10 do you think is honestly?
I wouldn't surround myself
racist?
with people like that, though. Again, that's just who.
But you know, you don't. I'm sure you know people that don't like black
But here
people.
you are. Now you got to see, the thing that you're doing is what you're trying to get us not to do is generalizing.
Yeah,
So
and
listen
that's
to me.
all
You
that
gotta-
you're
you gotta
doing.
understand from her perspective, from my perspective. You're saying that we're generalizing the black community, that you can't get a break. You start with nothing, you
Right.
work your way to nothing. But the thing is that you're generalizing, because you know what, partner?
Okay.
I dare you to come for a ride on a motorcycle with me and see when we get pulled over. You doing a wheelie at 110 miles an hour on a crotch rocket going through Atlanta, and I'm wearing a patch on my back, and I'm riding a Harley Davidson doing the speed limit, not doing a damn thing. Guess who gets pulled over first?
Me, of course.
No, brother. I got news for you.
Well, no, you know why? If you got that patch on the back of your hand, that means because you in some undercover bicycles or some bike shit that y'all got a lot of shit going on that's really way worse.
How do you know that? You're generalizing
You
again.
know I don't. No, you know. And I could be. Yep, I'm racist because I know exactly what the fuck y'all doing with that goddamn. Everybody's scared. Everybody's scared when they see that motorcycle with the gray beard, motherfucker patch on his back. You know some shit going on.
Well, there you go. Why is that? Because you watched Sons of Anarchy one fucking time.
It
Oh
was before
shit!
Sons
Oh
of
shit!
Anarchy. It was before Sons of Anarchy. We knew white men on bikes with gray beards meant some shit. We knew that from the get-go. Y'all just ain't going home. We just knew that.
Yeah, but I mean, we just knew to stay our asses out of Bankhead. We just knew.
Yeah, that's true.
Did we know anybody there? Fuck no, man. Did we know?
And we
did
know to stay
that
our
mama's
ass
over
out
there
of
working
Marietta.
3 jobs to bring up her kids and all that? No, but do we generalize the fact that fuck it, we ain't going down there? Fuck yeah. So I mean, again, no, you can spin this any way you want to.
You can.
But the point is that it's generalizations that are going to kill you in this conversation all the way around, because you are generalizing, then you accuse us of generalizing. it's a double-edged sword. That's what I'm saying, brother. I'm not trying.
No, you're right, and I love you. I love your honesty.
But the point being is that you got a young lady here. Now she's younger than we are. You about 10 years younger. How are you? In your 30s or something like that?
I'm 32.
Okay, yeah. So there we go, man. Her opinion, her perspective on this problem is totally different than you and I.
Than me and I. All right, you see that? She's in the medium. But see, I'm going to also tell you some shit
so
like
on that
this.
millennial end of things where there is no responsibility taken for anything that's going on in this world right now. And sweetheart, I'm not trying to dishonor
How
you.
you feel about that, though? The millennials is leaning toward our way.
Yeah, no, they are. But the thing is, because millennials, and you could agree with me, I almost guarantee that millennials have no fucking responsibility for anything that they do either. Because a millennial will walk out in the middle of traffic and be like, oh, he hit me. Well, no shit, stupid. You're in the middle of a freaking street.
I agree.
But the thing is,
they're
that
still here.
He
They're the
hit
future.
me. Well, yeah, he did because you stepped out between two cars with some no crosswalk.
But they are the future, and it's fucked up.
There you go, brother. And the thing is that these conversations held by responsible adults like you and I, unfortunately, are influencing the younger generation to think that, you know what, man, but my man Al Nuke, man, that motherfucker is smart, and he's telling us all these things, and fuck that big white boy Jay because he's a dumbass. You know, I mean, you know, all he is some big white biker. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what though? I'm leaning with you, Jay, because like on some real shit, like I understand where you're coming from because I know about common sense. I'm not coming from an emotional standpoint. I come from common sense. So I feel for you too because again, I have some good white friends that's friends of mine. But I might add, when shit get thick, a white man will leave your ass in a goddamn heartbeat. Like, hey man, I didn't know you. Like, shout out to all the crack fiends, all the fiends that I sold dope to back in the day that was white. They were some of the best motherfucking clientele. But soon as they get caught with that goddamn dope, you was their friend. But when they get caught, he turned me out on drugs. It was Al, go get him, raid him, motherfucker. So it's like y'all got a different way of doing some shit where we trust you and then we can't trust you.
You think that story was any different for some of us selling drugs in the suburbs?
Shit, I mean, hey, no, I'm gonna tell you the difference. When the white man told the white man police that the nigga turned his ass out, oh shit, it changed. You can believe that?
You know what? And let me. Are you from Detroit? Or are you just wearing the shirt?
No, I'm from
All right,
Detroit.
here's the deal. So you know the difference between a northern set of standards and a southern set of standards.
Totally.
Okay, it totally is. Okay, and the thing is that a northern set of standards, we don't have the division that we have down here in the South. Now, coming from Washington D.C., we always considered ourselves Southerners because we were south of the Mason-Dixon. Didn't mean shit, but we were Southerners, okay? The point of the matter being is that when we get down here to the Deep South and we start realizing what some Southern mentality is about, a lot of us say, fuck that, we Yankees. For a real good reason, because the people down here have a different way of going about things. White people in general have a different way of going about things, and they are steeped in that tradition. And I think that...
So what's Yankees? Explain to me what's the two difference so niggas would know. What's the difference on the Hunkies? I know Yankees is some... What is Yankees?
Yankees is anybody north of the Mason-Dixon line, okay? So
what the fuck does Mason-Dixon
The Mason-Dixon line is the line that delineates across the United States north from south. They were the Mason-Dixon line was the ones that put the northern states on the side of the Union during the Civil War and the southern states on the side of the South in the Union in the Civil War. Okay. The Mason-Dixon line is what... is an imaginary line that runs across the country that tells you either northern or southern. Okay. Yeah, it's like 8 Mile in Chicago, yeah. You either on one side or the other. Okay, so the thing is that nobody really gives a damn anywhere in the world until you get down in the Deep South. Now, I've been down here 10 years, and I've got people in South Carolina, I've got people in Georgia, I've got people in Alabama, Mississippi.
Are they Yankees?
Some of them. Some of them not. Some of them are people that I've met that have been down here and shit. And the thing is, one of the things that I find most distressing about my time in Georgia is that, you know, when I showed up in Georgia looking the way I do, my beard was a little longer, my hair's long, I ride a motorcycle, all of a sudden I'm assumed that I'm a honky, that I'm a cracker like all the rest of these knuckleheads.
Yeah, you the straight redneck. I mean, of course, yeah, you got the long gray beard, ponytail,
the thing
biker,
is, right,
yeah.
The thing is that I'm not like that. I never have been. You know, the friends that I've made down here, 90% of them, all black. Because I can't stand these Southern folk. Right. But that doesn't matter here or there, because in a conversation like you and I are having for the first time, I am judged by my appearance. Just like this pretty young lady here.
Judge,
because
yes.
You know what? She's either Hispanic or white. She's not
she's
black. No matter how she turns out being half black, oh damn,
Yeah,
I'm half
she is
Dominican.
she got some black in her, but we looking at her.
My dad is black and my mom is white. So, and I get Hispanic all day, every day. People come up to me speaking Spanish. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying. But it's just like, you know that there's still a race issue because it doesn't matter where I am. It could be getting a job, and they're not supposed to ask that, or your first day on a job, or meeting somebody for the first time, dating, or anything like that. Well, what are you?
Right.
What does that matter? And you're just meeting me. So you know there's still a race issue because that's the first thing that anybody asks you to this day. They want to know. They're curious. They have to know. And it's like, or they'll try to think of other ways to ask it. And I love to play with people. What do you mean? What am I? I'm human.
When I look at you, though, you know what I see when I look at you? I see from a brother's perspective, from niggas' perspective, we look for you. Like, we trying to just sleep with you and just impregnate.
But there you go. So then
that's a stereotyping, that's a generalization.
Shout out to niggas, right? We like, yeah, see that mix. We know she fuck with niggas. Like, you can't go for straight white breed. Like, we already know. We could tell. We can look at you and read. Now, him, we see him coming, we don't want to fuck with him. And he might got some niggas that he know that's cool, but when we see you, Jay, in the elevator,
you stand on the other side, you don't say a word to me, do you?
I don't say a word. I don't say a word because I feel a certain way. Yeah, I want something, baby. Pour me a little drink over here. Do your job. God damn. I'm a shit. God damn, try a little Ciroc or some shit.
My mom's a little bit lighter than you.
Would you fuck her? Well, no, I'm asking you, would you see?
I guess not.
Well, no, I'm saying, have you ever slept with a black woman?
I
guess that would be my question. Do it. Have you ever thought about it? Okay, all right. Because I like white girls too. I ain't gonna lie, but the only thing about white girls, they too sentimental. And again, that goes back to what I say about white and black.
White is crazy. Yeah, these motherfuckers got all kinds of issues. Yeah,
they just be so soft. Everything ain't soft and bright and flowers and shit. Sometimes I like to argue with my black sister. Say, bitch, shut up, bitch, and she tell me, shut up, nigga. Like, it's got to come to that some point in time. But that's our mentality. That's how we grew up. It's fucked up.
Now see how again, but that's a generalization.
No, it's inside
your own race. That's a generalization because you know what? I have known some spectacular black women that get along with their man, that take care of their man, that live with their man peacefully for 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
And love it. And you know what? They're an inspiration to folks that they need to be an inspiration to. But the problem with that is that you generalize and you saying that because you know right now what your experience is
with white girls,
with any of them.
Yeah.
And I know some white girls who will go and key your car, put a brick through your window, and all types of stuff.
That's because they've been fucked by a nigga.
No, that's because they know some Taylor Swift.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, no, I'm saying the majority of them, you gotta admit, they probably been trashed by a nigga and they ready to break some shit. But the normal white girl, she not into that. If anything, she's gonna cry, pull her hair out if you stop fucking with her. She ain't trying to come and touch some shit up. If she'll keep the baby away from your ass. You know what I mean? That's one thing. But before, you know what? Let me go to commercial break, too, because this is getting deep. I want to have a great conversation. I want to continue the conversation. We'll be right back on Nuke at Night, the Black Howard Stern. Stay in tune. Stay in pocket. Get your popcorn. I got to reset the cameras because I know Tim is tripping. And Tone, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Tone.
He been doing nothing but giggling all day.
I know. We'll be right back. Nuke at Night. Do the weed smoke bother you? On Nuke at Night, the Black Howard Stern Show. And we were just talking about something. I can't let you it's hard for me to go hard on you, Jay, because you like you're a realist. So it's hard for me to really kind of, you're not the standard redneck. You know what I mean? And I'm
the
mad.
Standard Trump love. You know what? I do because you know what? I catch hell all the time for what I am and who I am and what I appear to be. But the thing is that I would like to think that at least I know my kids, and I've got 4 white kids, respect the place that they came from, respect what they know of life in general. And I think that more people like me could obviously benefit. My wife is a lot like me. She's an Italian. Her dad was an Italian immigrant. You know what I mean? She comes from a European descent. I have a lot of friends with European descent that come to this country not understanding the diversity and the dichotomy of the American society. And I'd like to think that that's what's going to pervade when it's all said and done. Men like you that take it to the streets and tell these people, look, man, you know what? You got to live for yourself. You got to live for your dynasty. You got to live for your reputation, not necessarily what you can get out of it and then blame somebody else when you're down.
Mm-hmm. But no, I still think white people owe us some money now. I still think they owe us some money, man. You gotta
when you trace it back to your roots somewhere in a cotton field, then by God you owed something. Yeah. But if you ain't tracing it back to a cotton field somewhere, I don't want to hear shit from you. You feel what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's fucked up because you got so much and I ain't got shit, and so I'm still pocket watching. It's fucked up. I'm pocket watching and I'm making excuses.
Okay. If we're gonna be
y'all got
if we're gonna
money.
be on the honest side here, man, you living in a $5,000 a month loft. And so, and I'm living in a motherfucking hovel up there in Gainesville in Hall County. You know what I'm saying, dude? I mean, all things considered,
but I guarantee you got rich friends. I guarantee you know somebody.
You know the richest motherfucker I know. You know the richest motherfucker I know is a black man.
For real, and you should be. You know what? You should be mad.
His name is Hans Robb. He runs a fiber company, one of them fiber optic jobs where he splices fiber optic cable and makes like $1 billion a year. Man, I mean, this motherfucker.
How you don't know no rich white people? And I guess what? You don't want to be around it.
Nobody likes me, brother. Look at me. You know what I'm saying? Dude,
yeah, you ain't playing the white code.
Fucking 300 pounds, ride a motorcycle, man. Nobody gives me fucking 10 minutes of their time. Nobody. I don't give a fuck who they are.
They're almost racist to you, too. You're right. They're almost racist to you, too. You are stereotyped. You're right. Because you got the biker shit going on. We don't trust you neither. You're right. They're almost trying to say that y'all terrorists, too. Yeah.
The thing is that there's a lot of me out there. Whether you know it or not, there's a lot of me out there. And unfortunately, these poor little snowflakes that are coming up in life, all they want to do is just, we're okay, man. We want to be okay, man. But you know what?
Yeah, they just want to be cool, and they tip it over in our area.
All bullshit aside, that goes in the favor of the man that's hardcore, the man that's all about bringing things together and living for the future and being more than what you are. Because when the snowflakes come up, I want to be so much, man. I mean, I want everybody to love me.
Right.
Fuck that. You know what the point is that no matter how they look at it, whether you take them as an asshole or a fucking revelation, the point is that it's all going to get better.
But that's my question. How are y'all going to get y'all white bitches back? Because we taking them. Like when we fuck them, we take them and they turn into niggas and they don't want to go. You know the saying, go black, never go back, all that type of shit. I'm sure that I can show right now that she's handsome. You ever dated a black man?
I was married to a black man.
See what I'm saying?
I never had dated a white person.
You never dated a white person. See what I'm saying?
You really want me to answer that?
Answer the answer.
You really want me to answer that? I got an answer that'll make you cry.
How? We mixing y'all motherfuckers up.
You're breeding yourself out of existence.
No, you have black.
No, but that don't matter to me.
You don't give a fuck.
That only matters to you. That only matters to you. You're breeding yourself out of existence. Keep talking shit.
See, I'm getting information that y'all never get information on. That's how the white man think. Like, motherfucker, it don't matter. You get a little white in you, bitch. You know what I mean? I love it.
No matter how you look at it, brother. I'm coming from this white perspective, but like I said, man, I mean, my mom is Dominican, dude. I come from a mixed race family to begin with. The point being is that no matter how you look at this in the context of the world, everybody is a little bit of something. No matter where you come from, you got something in you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and even the most pure black African descendant, unfortunately, after the last 200 years, has probably got some white caretaker somewhere in there.
Did we start civilization? I got to ask white people.
Oh, absolutely.
Do all white people know that?
I don't know. I think that educated white people do.
Have they talked about that? So is that why they all mad? Like, is that a reason why a lot of white people's mad? Because it's like, bitch, y'all started civilization. Fuck you, motherfuckers, and y'all motherfuckers know, y'all fuck y'all. Like, I mean, is that why a lot of people? I didn't know that really until maybe 10 years ago. Y'all started getting educated on, like, we was Africa and the black people, and they say the white people went up in the mountains and shit, and they turned white and all that. They got so many stories. I don't know the fucking stories, but they say that black people was the first people on earth. God was black. All the white man took the Bible, this, that, and other. Do white people know this?
Look, dude, no matter how you look at it, I don't know if they know it or not, but they're idiots if they don't. Jesus was a Jew from the Middle East. He was browner than anybody out here walking around in the South, I promise you. Okay, no matter how you look at it. Now, having said that,
white people don't give a fuck. So what?
The thing is that you got to remember, man, white people tend to do their own weird shit with this whole creationism thing where God went click and all of a sudden it was all there. That's bullshit. We all know we come from the monkeys that come from the cavemen that come to the, and all of the crown of civilization was born in the continent of Africa. Now with tectonic movement and all the rest of this shit, Africa is its own place. But the problem was that it was all one mass.
For real?
1 million years ago. All was connected. There were no oceans. There were no dividers. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, China, or Asia were all one landmass with another half a globe full. With another half a globe full of water.
Wait a minute. So you because you're talking too fast for a nigga that's smoking weed. You basically saying You saying all of this shit was together. America, China, Japan, Africa, all of this shit. Wasn't no split waters, this, that, and the other. You saying when God came about. Or when was this, or what happened?
Now, don't get me crazy on the Bible and everything, because I'm not real school on this. But the thing is, God created heaven and earth. He created the seas and the land.
Right.
Okay. He didn't say that he divided the land at all. If you really want to go biblical on you, he didn't say anything about oceans running through the land. He said that he created the water. He created the earth. Now, the earth was all one piece, and creationists are going to lose their shit over this. But the point is that when you look into it, please do. The world was all one land mass until it was tectonics. It was tectonics. It started, all of this shit, earthquakes and all that are all caused by the same thing.
Was niggas the first? You saying it was niggas?
The jewel of civilization. Absolutely. And you say niggas, but I don't know. I wasn't there. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't there. All right, look, man, don't be shooting me out on fucking Atlanta highways. But the point is, dude, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they looked like a billion years ago. They look like a fucking monkey, dude. That's what they look like. That's where they all come from. It's hard to tell. I assume that by virtue of them being in a South Equatorial area, that they was dark-skinned. How's that?
You put the disclaimer on it, the smart white man disclaimer. Shout out to the white people.